Hello, I'm Dr. Jeanette Raymond, psychologist, psychotherapist, and relationship expert, here to help you today with the anger and frustration you might feel when your partner doesn't see that you are available and wanting to connect, but they get angry when they think that you're available and connecting with other people in social situations with family or colleagues. So they experience you as being wonderful when you're with other people, and other people get this wonderful impression of you, but in reality you're a loser, you're a waste of time, you don't do anything, and you're unloving and uncaring when you're with them. So they're always kind of mean to you and putting you down, but you feel like you're just the same person. You're being whoever you are with everybody. It's just that your partner's not seeing you as worthy and valuable when you're with them, but they see you as giving that part of you to other people, and then they get angry and act in a mean way. So you're going to be very upset about it, and here I'm going to tell you what to do. So I had a client once who had this situation, and his anger and stress became very serious because he just could not talk to his wife about the fact that she was not seeing him in the same way that he was. He was being the same person, she was just seeing him in a different way. So he started to have insomnia. He started to have serious sinus infections. He couldn't sleep. He got headaches. All sorts of things started to happen because he just could not convince his wife that he was the same person. He was lovable and jovial and kind and a good listener and so on, which is what other people said, and they kept telling her how lucky she was to have him, and she was getting more and more mean with him because that's not who she experienced him as, and so she thought he was pretending to be someone he was not, and that made her feel even more angry. So I wonder if you've been in that situation, and I'm sure you have. Here's how I help my client, and this is something you can do for yourself too. I gave him two things to do. One was to ground himself in his own reality, to put his psychological feet on the ground and stay there, not be pulled and pushed in one direction or another depending on how his wife saw him. He had to see himself the way he wanted to, in a way that was consistent with who he felt he was across the board, no matter whether he was with family, friends, colleagues, or in his own marriage and as a father. And the second thing I told him to do was to begin to take himself seriously and be a little bit assertive, that he had to keep pointing out to his wife that he was there, he was available, he was doing the gardening with her, he was doing shopping, he was taking the family out, he was available to listen, he invited her to sit by him and watch TV and have cuddles and enjoy the parenting experience together, that he wasn't depriving her of anything. In fact, he was totally available, but she chose not to see it that way. The only time she saw him as valuable is when other people saw it, and that comes from a sense of envy and difficulty accepting that what you have is pretty much good. It's only good in her eyes when somebody else thinks it's good. Okay, that's not his fault, but what he can do to help himself not feel angry and stressed and have headaches and sinus trouble and insomnia is to keep being assertive and show that he is all the things she accuses him of not being. And by keeping on just being a kind of reflective mirror, see, now I'm here doing this with you, now this, now this, now this, she cannot refute that. So it's kind of giving her, showing her the mirror, turning the mirror around and showing her the reality, his reality, the objective reality, and helping her develop a new experience of him by being assertive and taking himself seriously and grounding himself in his own reality. It was very hard for him to do, and he would falter and experiment a little bit, and then he'd stop because it kind of worked for a little while, and he'd stop. And as soon as he stopped, she started feeling like he wasn't there anymore, and other people saw him in this way, and it was not true. So he learned, because he learned that he had to do it on a consistent basis, because as soon as he stopped doing it, his aches and pains would come back, his insomnia would come back, and he would just feel deflated, like, how many more times, and so on. And it was just working and working with me, and me helping him trust himself, believe in himself, own his own reality, take himself seriously. Because if he wasn't going to do it, nobody else was. She wasn't going to do it. And he developed that skill. It was hard because he didn't have that experience as a child of being encouraged in that way. So we did it in our work together in the therapeutic situation, and he built it layer by layer, and he showed it by showing his wife and telling, just like a reflective mirror, now I'm doing this and this and this, and it worked. But every time he went down and lost it, his symptoms would come back, and he'd do it again. And it worked like a charm when he was doing it. And that's what you need to do if you're feeling angry and frustrated and upset, and you're having physical symptoms of pain and insomnia and so on. When your partner doesn't see you the way you think you need to be seen, the way you believe you are, the way you know who you are, and the way other people see you. Be assertive, take yourself seriously, and be that reflective mirror to your partner. They will get it, and you won't suffer, you won't be so angry, and you won't be so stressed. So let me know of your experiences in this area. I would love to hear from you and help you if I can. I offer therapy if you live in California, and coaching if you live anywhere else. I'm happy to do it online, where we can arrange it for coaching, and I'm happy to offer you services through my book as well. Now You Want Me, Now You Don't. That's another way in which you can access my services. You can read all about my stuff online, drjeanettraymond.com, and I'm happy to answer any of your questions on YouTube. And let me know how you enjoyed the video.